One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to Zanis News. We look at the top stories in the news. Vice President Mutale Nalumango says President Hichilema must be commended on gender equality. Government to provide relief food to Luangwa. DEC destroys cannabis in Mongu. Plus, Chadiza in defilement case rise. With the news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa. Now, Vice President Mutale Nalumango says President Hakainde Hichilema must be commended for demonstrating his commitment towards gender equality by appointing women into the second and third highest offices and other key positions in the country. And Ms. Nalumango says gender equality is gaining momentum and is evidenced in the various organizations where women are holding high positions. She was speaking in a speech read on her behalf by Teaching Service Commission Chairperson Dafin Chimuka during the first ever International Women's Day Gala dinner at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka. Let's get the details in this report.
Lusaka district has for the first time in history hosted the first ever International Women's Day Dinner Gala, which was hosted by Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu and graced by Lusaka district has for the first time in history hosted the first ever International Women's Day Dinner Gala, which was hosted by Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu and graced by the Republican Vice President Mrs. W.K. Mutale Nalumango. The gala dinner was a celebration gesture towards the achievements made by women in Zambia who have held high positions in life.
Please, from today onwards, just know that every time we have Women's Day in Lusaka, we are going to have these functions in the evening.
Republican Vice President, who was represented by Teaching Service Commission Chairperson during the gala dinner at Mulungushi International Conference Center, says President Hakainde Hichilema must be commended for championing gender equality in the country.
Reflecting on the strides we have made as a nation towards gender equality, we cannot overlook the remarkable achievements of women as a collective. In politics, let us pause and commend our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who has demonstrated commitment towards gender equality by appointing women into the second and third highest offices in the country and in many other key positions.
Women living with disability are calling for coordination with other women in order to achieve gender equality for all.
Let us reaffirm our commitment to inclusivity, diversity, and equality. Let us stand in solidarity with women living with disabilities and work together to build a world where every woman, regardless of her abilities, can thrive and fulfill her desires and dreams.
The event was attended by high-profile women in society. The event's organizing committee says the proceeds of this gala dinner will be channeled to the families that have lost loved ones to cholera. Nigel Member reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Thank you for that report. Now, Chief Government Spokesperson Cornelius Moitwa says Tanzania and Uganda have indicated willingness to export maize to Zambia to cushion the shortage that the country is likely to face. Mr. Moitwa, who is also Minister of Information and Media, says citizens should not worry about food security as government has already taken care of the issue. Meanwhile, Mr. Moitwa has underscored the need for Zambia to ensure the shift from depending on hydroelectricity, but instead move to solar energy. The minister said this in Livingstone during a government media engagement. Let's get this.
I'd like to take this opportunity to assure the international community that whatever resources they may be able to assist Zambia with, will be put to prudent management and utilization, just like has been demonstrated in the 2.5 years of President Hakainde Hichilema's New Dawn administration. As you have seen, for the first time in more than a decade, Transparency International Corruption Perception Index has posted a positive, gain in terms of corruption, that corruption has reduced in Zambia. It speaks to prudent management and utilization of national resources. So those who were saying that this administration of New Dawn is worse off in terms of corruption than the previous administration or administrations, we are still waiting to hear their voice in response to Transparency International Zambia revelations that corruption under the New Dawn administration has reduced. They should not just make claims that cannot be substantiated when empirical evidence by a credible and unquestionable institution such as TIZ has given statistics. We expect those who are alleging, like Mr. Fred Membe, that New Dawn administration is worse off in terms of corruption, to own up and come up, challenge those statistics and revelations, or in fact tell the nation that their statements were not supported by any empirical evidence or reputable research or study, but that they were mere political rhetoric that were baseless.
Meanwhile, Luangwa District Commissioner Luke Chikani and United Party for National Development Lusaka Province Chairperson Obvious Mwali Teta have assured residents in the area that government will provide relief food to those that are affected by hunger due to the dry spell. The duo has stated that government has put in place measures to mitigate the effects of droughts. Let us take a look.
Luangwa District Commissioner Luke Chikani and United Party for National Development Lusaka Province Chairman Obvious Mwali Teta took advantage of the Women's Day celebrations platform in Luangwa District to explain the President's address to the nation on the prolonged dry spell and measures taken. The leaders emphasized on government's commitment to ensuring that no one dies of hunger in the district.
The government will take both short-term and long-term measures to stabilize the expected food insecurity. One of the measures is, one, the formation of a disaster and emergency response team to drought, and ZNS to crop 1,978 hectares of irrigated maize by the end of July, with a projected yield of about 15 metric tons.
Government yagwapo kumenya sure kuti ichi chilala chiliko chili chabe kulwanga yayi kulusaka Southern Province ma provinces yambiri alina problem ya chilala chanene itane maona kuno kulwangwa. But I want to tell you that kulibe muntu azapa nanjala tifuka boma is that to provide.
And one of the traditional advisors, commonly known as Alangis, has called on the young generation to embrace the culture of respecting leaders. Meanwhile, Fera Member of Parliament Emmanuel Tembo has urged mothers in the district to desist from marrying off their children at an early stage.
Mwaona vintu vambosinta vazimai vachokera kuvuli mboluta kusogolo. Apa pafupi ma vice president avili onse. Amai nonge wina na amai Mutale Lumango vice president vazimai. Simachiona hapa. Yomili mbisani nyakuti tenti ya mbile bawana atonda sikana. Osa lumulisha wana, oma tenti pozise wana, okola bilako vizungu ma university.
Lista Ndumba, Luangwa District.
And Central Province Permanent Secretary Meuna Mwanakampwe has handed over the newly procured tractor loader backhoe to Mukushi Town Council, procured at a cost of 1.6 million kwacha using the 2023 Constituents Development Fund CDF. Mr. Mwanakampwe has also commissioned over 6,000 desks that have been bought at a cost of 9 million kwacha. More in this report.
Mukushi District of Central Province has not been left behind with regard to development through the Constituents Development Fund CDF. The needs of the people are being met. Among them, the powerful, efficient and reliable boom machines tractor loader backhoe, TLB, and also school desks. Mukushi Town Council Chairperson Melson Chilem says the local authority is not under pressure to meet the target of the required desks in the area.
Under pressure, we have the money. His Excellency has already sent the money, and now we are doing everything possible. This is the first batch of the desks. There are others, and we'll continue, and in the shortest period of time, we'll meet the target.
Central Province Permanent Secretary Meuna Mwanakampwe commissioned the TLB machine and the desks.
Officially commissioning our desks in Shikangomba, I 6,476 desks that are costing 9,375,000 kwacha. Then I know now that some people will need to give them visual aid so that they see. And we must not play politics around these things. We must not play politics around these things. It is not right. I'm aware that this TLB that we are handing over today is worth 1.6 million.
Mukushi District Commissioner Jonathan Kapungwe is happy that CDF is changing the game in the area.
Extremely excited. As government, we are extremely excited and very thankful to the head of state to come up with this initiative. You can see that we are going to solve the problems of our people sitting down on the floor, writing right at their thighs. That will be a thing of the past. And we are going to correct garbage in our district.
Meanwhile, Provincial Education Officer Mambe Hamududu has thanked the local authority for prioritizing the education sector.
The total enrollment for Mukushi is at 76,392, an increment of 20,636. You can imagine an increment of such a big number in a very, very short period of time. I think without the support from the local authorities through CDF, we will not cope with these very, very high enrollments.
Daniel Billy, Zanis News, in Mukushi District, Central Province.
Indeed, CDF is a game changer. Now, in other news, the 10th session of the South Africa-Zambia Joint Defense Committee meeting in Pretoria, South Africa, has today come to an end. And the Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary Nomanchi Pakupaku has described the meeting as successful. Jen Simalumba has details in this report.
After 3 days of deliberations, the 10th session of the South Africa-Zambia Joint Defense Committee meeting has come to an end in Pretoria, South Africa. Delegates from the two countries have been meeting, deliberating on matters pertaining to defense and security. A number of resolutions have since been made, and 3 implementation agreements have been signed. The agreements are aimed at enhancing training for defense personnel for both countries on exchange of directing staff, exchange of students, and exchange in the field of health science. Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary Nomanchi Pakupaku signed on behalf of Zambia while South Africa Acting Secretary for Defense, Tobekile Gamede, signed on behalf of South Africa. And speaking during the closing ceremony, Mr. Chipakupaku described the meeting as successful.
It is gratifying to note that the objectives of this meeting have been attained. I have noted that our technical experts engaged in open and candid discussions as reflected in their report, which we have endorsed this morning. Specifically, Chair, I am very, very happy that the two delegations underlined areas that need improvement in our noble quest to strengthen the bilateral cooperation in the field of defense and other spheres. Chairperson, I can only emphasize that these decisions need to be implemented as agreed and as soon as possible to sustain the relevance of this committee.
Dr. Gamede also described the meeting as fruitful.
This milestone session has further solidified, I must add, the enduring partnership between our two nations, emphasizing the significance of collaboration in addressing the dynamic and not only dynamic but complex challenges that shape our region, regional security landscape. Our deliberations have been marked by a shared commitment, co-chair, of fostering peace, stability, and resilience in the face of evolving threats.
The 10th session of the Republic of South Africa Zambia Joint Defense Committee meeting was held from the 7th to the 9th of March 2024. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Pretoria, South Africa.
Now, some residents of Zimba district have appealed to government to have a separate Food Reserve Agency FRA community cell depot in the district. Currently, FRA maize is being accessed from Kalomo main depot. Here is a report.
Civic leaders have been urged to work hand in hand with village headmen in their respective wards to ensure that the hunger-stricken households benefit from the Food Reserve Agency community cells. This follows a complaint from several village headmen in Nachikungu ward of Kalomo Central, who claimed that they did not understand the formula applied to purchase maize from the local Food Reserve Agency main depot in town.
Asibugu banoliwo arape bakansila ng'abantu bangu bendaleta kuti bawulema njefungira mbu kuli kuti ngoyagabedde gotoliba kabaliwo basimabugu akansila bakaberegera ntomwe bakansila basimabugu mbaba.
Meanwhile, some residents of Zimba districts have appealed to the Food Reserve Agency in Kalomo to consider taking maize community cells to their doorsteps, claiming that it is costly for people from far-flung areas in Zimba district to travel to Kalomo.
Twalikulomba kuti location ya kuzimba nobali kukonzekana ayinke kumasheda akuzimba kuya ikutegwa echo chilapa congestion kuti cheku nokutegwa abana Kalomo kabalibwesera abana Zimba kabateni kabayolibwesera kuya.
The residents also appealed to the Zambia National Service to set up an outlet for Cheap Eagles Mill brand in Zimba Township.
Then two, kulibusuku chipite. Enonga tuhijo tukunokaromo barasia, akulibinge barasia. Ino Zimba on the way, short of a good process, yakutegwa bayabali mu town mufuifu aminzi kabateni kabawo byakusubuti ni kuchipite.
Balembe kuli ba PS wamba kuti chomwe chintoro muzimba chibe recommended wita kuti busubu yabwa National Service kabuti yani kabuseruka abwaro.
The Food Reserve Agency is selling 145 by 50 kilograms of white maize to each affected household in the 20 wards of Kalomo district. Martin Mashekwa, Zanis, Kalomo in Southern Province.
Now, a farmer in Kayuni camp of Chirundu district has urged fellow farmers to adopt to approach of planting local indigenous seeds in the work of climate change. Now, Julius Mufana has cited sorghum as one of the indigenous seed varieties he planted, which has survived the drought. Mr. Mfana has told Zanis in an exclusive interview that his family is guaranteed of a sure harvest from the sorghum he planted. Laksun Makoza has the rest of the story.
Unicamp in Chirundu district has not been spared from the drought that ravaged more than 80 districts, posing a threat on food security at household level. Despite Unicamp experiencing a severe drought, one crop has exceptionally performed well, as can be seen from this field of sorghum. The farmer is guaranteed of a sure harvest. The sorghum has been able to withstand the prolonged drought that characterized the 2023-2024 farming season. The farmer is guaranteed of a sure harvest. The sorghum has been able to withstand the prolonged drought that characterized the 2023-2024 farming season. The sorghum planted in this field is a local indigenous seed variety, and the owner of the sorghum fields want other farmers to embrace the planting of indigenous seeds as they are adaptable to the environment. Community Technology Development Trust (CTDT) says the planting of local indigenous seeds will cushion farmers from the effects of climate change and improve nutrition security at household level.
And the initiatives that will allow for farmers to adapt and become resilient to climate change. And one of the big issues that will lead us to become resilient to climate change is the use of our local and indigenous seeds. Local and indigenous seeds are well adapted to the environment where they are grown. They are hardy as compared to other hybrids. They are hardy, they are more tolerant, they are more resilient.
As a long-term measure in addressing climate shocks, CTDT has called for crop diversification as opposed to depending on maize. For Zanis, I'm Laksun Makoza.
Indeed, crop diversification in our country needs to be enhanced. Now, a woman fish farmer of Katete District, Cecilia Makunkula, has thanked the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, for its commitment to bettering the lives of women. Ms. Makunkula says she has been able to undertake fish farming and managed to store close to 8,000 fingerlings. More in this report.
As the country commemorates Women's Week, being held under the theme, Invest in Women and Girls, Accelerate Progress, the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, has prioritized the empowerment of women in its various financial portfolios. Among these women is Cecilia Makukula, a fish farmer from Katete District of Eastern Province.
I've got 3,000, then there I expect somewhere 4,000 because of the mortalities, you understand. So 65 and then 3,000. I think somewhere this one I can get somewhere 40,000. Yeah, 40. Then that other one is 50,000.
In Katete we have about 10 fish farmers who are beneficiaries from the ZIDED project, and basically I think they are doing fine. The challenges that we have is fingerlings. We don't have hatchery in Katete district. The other challenges that we have is it's feed. We don't have manufacture of feed here in Katete. We don't have even the supply of feed. We don't have in Katete. So if we can have that one, at least it won't add so much cost to our farmers.
And CEEC Public Relations and Communications Manager gave an overall update of the fish value chain that is being implemented in the Eastern Province.
By managing the aquaculture seed fund component of the Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project being implemented by the Ministry of Fisheries, the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission has been able to make a significant investment here in the Eastern Province. We have supported different actors amounting to 170 in the province with an investment value of over 20 million kwacha. Now, what this does is it brings us closer to attaining the objectives of the project, which are, number one, making aquaculture an inclusive and viable business undertaking. Aside from that, to also address the shortage of fingerlings in the country, to address the 10,000 metric ton deficit.
Hope Walia, Katete District, Eastern Province.
Thank you so much for that report. Now, Chingola District Commissioner Raphael Chimopi has implored women in the district to use every opportunity that government has created to sustain their livelihoods. And Chingola Mayor Johnson Kangombe has commended the women who, through their efforts and occupations, are sustaining their livelihoods and their families. Ian Chomba has the details.
It is a well-known fact that women play a pivotal role in shaping lives, sustaining their families and communities. It is for this reason that government and civic leaders in Chingola District on the Copperbelt Province have applauded the efforts that women of Chingola District are making in improving their livelihoods through various faculties, professions, and business ventures, including agricultural activities. This came to light during the International Women's Day celebrations in Chingola District.
Vision as government, under the able leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is to achieve with women being on board and up to date with economic progress. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've inspected stands exhibited by our women from various areas in Chingola and had business interventional and innovational talks from various women that have given us the talk this morning, this afternoon. One of our progress ladies has encouraged other women to stand up and have...
In line with this year's International Women's Day theme, Invest in Women and Girls, Accelerate Progress, women from all walks of life in Chingola District came together and showcased their creativity and occupations, which have improved their livelihoods.
My job sometimes entails to work late in the night, but I'm able to balance as an engineer, as a wife, and as a mother. To be in engineering, we need to invest in the young girls right from when they're young. We need to find mentors for them. We need to have a number of career talks so that we will have a number of girls doing the STEM courses. Anybody, any girl can make it, any woman can make it, as long as they are determined, as long as they're able to persevere, as long as they're able to perform, it is doable by everyone. Thank you.
So specifically when you talk about investing in the women, we want this woman who is empowered and she will be able to take herself to the hospital so that she has this overall check-up about her health. Because if you look at it, there's so many things that women are dying from.
Because I've been teaching biology and physics for 40 years, and there's no way I'll just go leaving behind nothing. So I called also for other teachers that were teaching who have also prepared so that
we manage to buy family inputs. Most of the women, they are the ones taking care of their homes. So we are happy that whatever we give to the women, including financial interest, they are able to follow and they are doing very fine.
Indeed, when a woman or a girl child is empowered and educated, her family and community will benefit through improved livelihoods. I'm Ian Chomba, reporting for Zanis News in Chingola District, Copperbelt Province.
Thank you so much, Ian Chomba, for that report. Now, Chadiza District Commissioner Marlon Zimba has pledged to work with the people and uplift the livelihood of the residents through government-initiated developmental programs. Let's get the details.
Traditional dances and hululating is a traditional norm to welcome an official in the high seat of the district. These women, commonly known as Mbumba Zachadiza, have requested the district commissioner to be vigilant and help the district to develop. In Chanida area, the United Party for National Development members welcomed the new Chadiza DC. The district commissioner has committed himself to improve the livelihood of people.
So, amakolo ngati kulike na kalikonse kamene kafunika kuti tichitire limozi kulingana ni mwambo watu wachicheva tentisenzere pamozi. Ngati kulima programs yena yali yose yakuti tonse mwina yopita kuma misonkhano kuja kumkaika lomba yapati yambo pita kumsonkhano tieni tizi yendera limozi chifukwa uyu mwambo watu wachicheva sitifuna ufe tufuna vana ang'ono nawo akazive kuti makolo watu analuchita chani koma makhalidwe yawonso yanaliyo tani koma mwambo mwana tisiyira ni wotaniso.
Juba Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza District.
Now, the Drug Enforcement Commission (DEC) has arrested 165 people in Mongu district of Western Province for trafficking in 4.2 tons of loose and fresh cannabis. The cannabis seized during the Commission's regular operations between early 2023 and end of February 2024 has since been destroyed. And DEC Education and Counseling Officer Chilambe Masangu has confirmed to Zanis in Mongu. Details in this report.
In accordance with the Narcotic and Psychotropic Substances Act No. 35 of 2021 of the laws of Zambia, the Drug Enforcement Commission DEC prevents illicit trafficking in drugs among others. In this regard, the Commission carries out routine operations to ensure that illicit drug trafficking and abuse is combated. During the destruction of the seized 4.2 tons of cannabis in Mongu, DEC had a message to the community.
According to the forfeiture and destruction of drugs pursuant to Section 34(1), Act 35 of 2021 of the laws of Zambia, the Drug Enforcement Commission today is doing the destruction of these drugs after the arrest of 165 people who were involved in trafficking of cannabis. And the cannabis comes to up to a total of 4.2 tons. And many people don't know that we actually do the destruction of drugs. So what we are experiencing is the actual destruction of drugs. And if there are people who do not know that this is what is done and who have doubts about what we do, today, right now, this is what you are saying.
Mrs. Masangu also appealed to the members of the community with information about people dealing in narcotic and psychotropic substances.
So my plea to people out there is that what we are saying here was seized from members of the public, members of the community. And we have a lot of people that are committing these acts. And other people know that they are committing these acts. What we want to share with the community is that we are here to help you. If at all you have information of people that are doing trafficking of drugs, please report to us. And we're going to help you remove the drugs out of your community.
The Commission also has regular sensitization and counseling programs for people who want to stop trafficking or usage of these drugs that should be brought forward, and it also conducts the programs in communities. Ikacha Nasindala, Zanis in Mongu, Western Province.
We continue with the news. Chadiza Member of Parliament Jonathan Daka has expressed concern with the rise of child defilement cases in the constituents. Meanwhile, District Commissioner Malan Zimba has since directed the police to visit the records and ensure that perpetrators are prosecuted. Jubel Zulu has more in this report.
Cases of defilement. You have raised the issue of early marriages. I want to assure you, your government, your district administration has taken keen interest in this matter.
Defilement cases in Chadiza district of Eastern Province are on the rise, a situation prompting authorities to call for more action to address the situation. The district commissioner wants the police and other wings to work together, thereby giving a directive.
This is a warning sound. I want to assure the public that all crimes that have happened the past 2 years in Chadiza district, and we have records at the hospital, they shall be followed and they shall be prosecuted. I therefore call upon my officer in charge, police, that you take keen interest in these concerns that have been raised.
The constituency member of parliament re-echoes the need to protect children.
Because the laws are already there. We have enough laws. Why should we allow a situation where our women are raped, our girls are defiled? My appeal to the law enforcement agencies here in Chadiza is that all the cases, just like the DC has alluded to, be it in the past, but so long as they were not addressed, we are going to push you to ensure that we protect our women's folk, especially the little girls. We cannot be harming our young girls when us elderly people are supposed to be promoting the same girls.
As hundreds of women celebrated International Women's Day yesterday, chiefs were also called upon to join the fight against defilement cases.
Women play a critical role in the society and need to participate. But how can women participate if they are defiled, molested, and married off without even considering how that affects them? Women have continued to labor in vain despite farming, as the land are mostly owned by men.
Jubel Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza district, Eastern Province.
Now, the Road Transport and Safety Agency RATSA Education Officer Stanley Molenga has urged the media to collaborate with RATSA and the Road Development Agency RRDA in road safety education, as it is a key partner.
The media should seek our guide, or seek our authority, not just our authority, seek information or content from our public relations unit who are vested with all the information in terms of road safety, so that we're able to disseminate that information. It's not possible to disseminate information through community engagement alone. No, we need community engagement through the media, because everyone is listening to a radio at every given particular time. So with the platform being created already, I hope these linkages that we've already created, yourselves being here as media, we hope we're able to reach out on both ends.
I just want to urge, the people living on this project corridor, to safeguard these installations, the road itself, and many other attendant features such as culverts, road signs, guardrails, which are built at a very huge cost. We have lots of vandalism going on our road network, not only here in Mchinga but countrywide. So we want people to safeguard these installations.
Now, Chief Chanje of Chipangali District in Eastern Province has urged youths to be innovative and creative as drivers of the future. Chief Chanje notes that government has created opportunities such as skills development and youth empowerment initiatives that young people should take advantage of in order to improve their livelihoods. And speaking in an interview with Zanis at his palace in Chipangali district, the traditional leader says there is need for youths to desist from bad vices and acknowledge their responsibility in the society. On March 12, 2024, Zambia will be commemorating Youth Day under the theme, Zambia at 60 Be the Change.
The role of the youth, they need maybe to help us bringing new ideas, especially those who have attended the school levels in villages. Because of lack of money, there's a lot of also youth who haven't gone to school. So they need to encourage their friends to at least do something like maybe doing mechanics or bricklaying, what. There's a lot of job, maybe, or courses like Chipata trades. And the councils have come in, going around telling us as chiefs want these children so that they can go and do bricklaying. So then at least they need to have one thing or one course in their lifespan so that they can find something to do instead of maybe just staying in the villages, start stealing, looking for small girls. That is not good. They should target, or they should know their responsibility, or to help the community, or to help the province, what we can do, or bring new ideas to the society so that our country can go forward.
Now, a beneficiary of Motorbike Youth Empowerment Initiative in Chipata District of Eastern Province has thanked government for boosting his transport business. And Nelson Piri says he is among 120 youths from Eastern Province who have been supported with motorbikes by the government, stating that he is also supporting other youths through the initiative. Let's take a look.
Chipata District in Eastern Province has always been known for its huge number of bicycles, which are mainly used for passenger and cargo transportation. However, changing trends are now making people in the city migrate to the use of motorbikes for the same purpose as bicycles. To support this transformation, last year the government empowered about 120 youths in Eastern Province with motorbikes to boost their transport businesses. Zanis caught up with one of the beneficiaries, Nelson Piri, who thanked the government for the initiative to assist young people excel in their entrepreneurial skills.
Brought in an additional revenue that I didn't expect. I didn't expect that government would entrust to empower me with such an empowerment of a motorbike, brand new motorbike. And so that in turn has increased my revenue on a monthly basis, because I make something like 1,000 kwacha from the motorbike every month. And I'm able to remit as well what government is asking of me to remit. So I'm remitting every month, and also the rider, the one that I empowered as well, to be riding it, because I moved a guy that was using a bicycle, and then so once he got the license, and then we elevated him to a motorbike. So equally for him as well, he's also found a better way of earning a living out of the empowerment that I got.
And a youth-led organization known as Eastern Visionary Youths has been supplementing government efforts in promoting young people's wellness.
The organization works in 5 thematic areas, which is health, education, gender development, youth and child development, and climate change. The organization supports young people through linking them to opportunities, disseminating information on health and climate change.
Being part of Eastern Visionary Youths, a youth gets a lot of opportunities that may be helpful in life. Some of the opportunities that one may get, we provide linkages for them to get the necessary support they need in terms of education or health. And we are also able to provide skills development in terms of entrepreneurship, communication skills, and also basic skills that someone needs. And we also give linkages for one to get some skills under the CDF.
Young people in the region are interpreting this year's Youth Day theme dubbed Zambia Arts Kisti Be the Change as their time to take responsibility to engage in government programs to achieve the country's economic revival.
As young people, we've wanted positive change for so long, and this theme has really come at the right time, when we as young people should be able to recognize the change that we want to be and drive ourselves towards the change that we want to see.
I'd like to also voice out to my fellow youths that let us be responsible, let us engage in government programs and engage government actually for our own benefit, because we are the future leaders of this country. And if we shun away from politics, discussing things with the economy, then we are just killing our own country.
Wopasendo for Zanis News in Chipata, Eastern Province.
Well, that item brings us to the end of the news. But before I finish, let us look at these stories that made us headlines once again. Vice President Mutale Nalumango says President Hichilema must be commended on gender equality. Government to provide relief food to Luangwa. DEC destroys cannabis in Mongu. Plus, Chadiza in defilement case rise. Well, that was all we had for you from the Zanis News Desk, and on behalf of the entire production news crew, thank you so much for being with us. It has been Margaret Kangwa. Enjoy the rest of our programming.